not sure. I have to go back and look at how that works exactly. But again, even if you don't have a Bitly account, you can. Max, maybe you know.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can sync your TweetDeck interface with your Bitly account.
Okay.
Does it cost anything?
Nope.
And I was also going to mention, if you have an account with Bitly or any one of those shorteners, would you then have, like, say, within your account page for your statistics that maybe you can actually use in your own Google Analytics, perhaps? Or
Yeah, I mean, well, I just want to make sure that I make a clear distinction between what Google Analytics does and what Bitly does. Google Analytics is really this, like, big thing that you install onto your own website, into your own website code to track how people are using the site. Bitly can be used for any URL. So again, you can't, using Google Analytics, find out whether or not people are clicking on a link to a New York Times review that you sent, because you don't have access to the NY Times Google Analytics account. But if you use Bitly, you can find out whether or not people are going to NY Times through the link that you sent. But Bitly is relatively easy to use, and you get that information. The important thing then is that once you've got that information, what are you supposed to do with it, right? And it's one thing to say, I now know what percentage of people clicked on this, that, and the other. And the way to think about what to do with that information is, again, to think about SEO and SEM are new versions of something that's been going on for a very, very long time. What SEM especially, but also SEO really are, is a much faster version of old school direct marketing, where you send out 1,000 envelopes, 500 of them have this font, 500 of them have the other. You wait a month for the orders to come in, and you compare how many people responded with the big headline and how many people responded with the small headline. And then when you send out your next mailing, you tweak them based on what's more effective. When people talk about split testing and A/B testing with SEO and SEM, it's nothing new. It's exactly what direct marketing has been for about 150 years now, but the feedback loop is much faster, as opposed to having to wait months to determine what you need to do to adjust your ads, to adjust your pages, to adjust your marketing approach. You wait a day. You send out a press release, and you have a press release, you've got your stuff you tweeted about, Facebook fan pages, everything that you guys have in your kit. And then the next day you go to Bitly, you go to Google Analytics, you find out which one of these drove traffic. Where did people actually go from the press release to clicking the link to the Amazon page? That's actually, obviously, should have brought that up a lot sooner. For you guys, again, you can't do analytics on Amazon.com, but you can find out how many people are clicking on your Amazon link if you use something like Bitly. And then you can determine, is it Twitter that's giving me 15% returns against 2% of people clicking on the link in Facebook? Is email where it's really happening? Is it directly in the text of an email? Or do people want to open a Word doc press release? All of those types of things you can answer immediately using this type of analytics, and then go back and make adjustments on the basis of that knowledge. Nothing new, again. And you said that you do consulting in web analytics?
Yes.
What are some of the tricks that you guys?
Well, I haven't actually used Bitly before. We were just talking about there's some links on our site that strikes.com link to like PayPal, and I've just been struggling with this. We haven't been able to get insight on how many users are clicking on and to download a webinar or to participate in a webinar. And I haven't been able to put Google Analytics on it because it clicks to the WebEx site. So I was just thinking, could we use Bitly for something like this?
Sure. Yeah, you shorten the URL on Bitly for that specific link, and that's a place where it's not going to affect your SEO at all because it's an embedded link on a button way far at the bottom of your page beyond anything that the search network is looking for. And that way you get analytics every time someone clicks the PayPal link. You don't get information about how much money they're spending on that side.
But we get that.
We get that anyway
on the other side.
yeah.
So it's that interim piece where when I want to calculate conversion rates, I'm missing that whole piece of how many users are going from us to the WebEx site. I'm just seeing, 50 people sign up for a webinar. They don't know how many went before they actually completed the process. And that's what I want to start counting.
You were waiting.
Yeah, I just had you mentioned if something's an embedded link way at the bottom of your page, it's not what the search engine's looking at. And I know when Susan and I first went to that SEO seminar, they talked a little bit about how Google sees things, how it sort of looks things. And I don't know if this is something that people know, like that they can crawl the web and that kind of stuff.
Right.
And then the other thing is, how it sort of looks at your the content that's on your page, that sort of basic thing. And then sort of related to that, I think they also said, something that helps is to have new content put up there. I mean, that's part of being relevant, but sort of updating your blog or updating your site regularly, they said that was something that was helpful too. So I don't know if you could, so this is like taking a few steps back,
Oh,
I
no,
realize,
I'm happy to
but
do that. I mean, one of the reason I brought the Dr. Seuss stuff up is to say that how does Google look at your page is something that's changing all the time. And it's changing because the minute someone determines how it is that Google looks at their page, when people thought they knew that what Google spent the most time looking at was your alt tag, they stuffed that alt tag full of keywords, to which Google responded, we're going to look at the keyword tag instead. To which, and then you had this back and forth arms race that took place. So I don't have a clear answer for you, how does Google look at your page, because of the fact that that is something that changes a lot. But the very basic answer to that is yes, Google goes and crawls the page. It goes basically and reads the page, sees all the information on it, and it correlates that against what the keyword is that our user is looking for, and other pages that have that same kind of content on it. So basically what Google's doing is going to as many web pages as they can, getting the information about what's on the page, and then comparing the relative importance of different pages with the same kind of information on them. So you go find all the different pages that are Dr. Seuss fan sites, and then they say, okay, which one of these URLs is appearing on the most other fan sites and other pages and all the rest of it, and they rank that one particularly highly. In terms of what it is, again, that you can do for SEO, I would really focus on the title and the headline, because that's back to the human element. That's just responding to the fact that what people are going to see when they end up on the page is your title and is your description, and you want that to be as readable, clear, concise, evocative as possible. Beyond that, like you said, it is always back to relevance. Make it relevant, make it dynamic, always add stuff to your blog and all the rest of it. And it really isn't rocket science at that point. Like, of course, that's going to help you for SEO, but it's also going to help you get readers. People stop clicking if the fourth time in a row that they go to a blog and there's a new post on it. So that's just a basic aspect to it. Anybody else with specific books that they have launched recently they want to talk about?
Actually, just